back at it again at Abel's Hot Rod Shop. So this time we got a Z06 that we did an engine rebuild. It's a little dirty because the car's been parked for a while. So backstory on this car, a little context, because I didn't get to do any video. This customer called me. He had a issue with the starter and battery dying, and the issue is just starting the car. So he called me that the car was at another shop, a local shop, and that they had called in that the engine was locked up. So a buddy of mine from San Antonio called me to call him. He called me. We got a hold of each other. And he was just, like, hey, bro, this other shop's telling me that the engine's locked up. I really don't know what to do. I really don't know what to say. So I went over there to the other shop. And when I got there, of course, I had my shirt on, my Hub City Hot Rod shirt. And they got the impression that, I was going to, I guess, tell them something. And I really wasn't. I just wanted to see, the car because I had never seen it. So fast forward like an hour, we agreed that I was just going to pick up the car, and that's it. So somewhere in between that conversation, the guy in the back was fighting with the customer, and the service writer was, being real aggressive with the customer, which is this guy with the Z06. And he's like, you know what, man, we're just going to have to go ahead and replace the motor and this and that, and the car's going to stay here. And he's like, well, I want my mechanic. I guess he was, referring to me to see the car. So I go to the back of the shop, and we're there, and they're telling me that the motor's no good and this and that. And I'm like, how, man? I mean, the car, he says the car was driving. It just died on him. They're just like, yeah, the motor's no good. So I was like, well, how did you diagnose that the engine was no good? And they said that they turned the motor by hand and it was locked up, that it didn't want to turn. So two things, kind of sounded suspicious. One, the car's a stick car. So if you have the car in gear and you try to turn the motor, it's not going to turn. If you have the parking brake on and you have the car in gear and you're trying to turn the crankshaft, you're not going to turn the motor. You're trying to turn the whole car. If the car's in parking brake and all that, you're never going to move it, right? So anyways, I was like, well, show me how you're doing it. So this guy pulls out a pair of pliers. I kid you not. A pair of pliers like this. Right? He pulls out a pair of pliers exactly like this, channel locks. And he tries to put the pliers on that right there, on that crankshaft bolt, like this. And he's trying to turn the motor like that. And at that point, I was just, this is a really, really high-end, reputable shop in my area. And that's what the tech was doing to turn the engine. So I couldn't help but laugh. I giggled, and they seemed to take offense to that, which is fine. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was pretty rude, but I laughed. I was like, dude, there's no way you're gonna diag a bad motor with a pair of pliers without doing anything else. Checking compression, pulling the spark plugs. Everybody knows you pull the spark plugs on these engines, and it's way easier to turn. Check the oil. There's all the things that you can do to check to see before you decide, hey, we need a motor. And it's not like it's any ELS motor. It's a 7.0. And if you guys don't know, these things aren't cheap. A replacement engine for one of these, one, availability is very hard to get, and two, the expense. I've seen these things go up to 17, 20,000 for a long block, maybe 15,000 for a short block, 10,000 new. You can find used ones, but like I said, it's hard. So yeah, we got in a little argument, and I told them I couldn't believe that you guys are actually diagnosing the car like this and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, who are you? And I'm like, well, obviously, I have a little bit more common sense than to freaking try to turn a motor with a pair of pliers. And believe it or not, that's exactly what happened. So I leave. I said, you know what? We're just gonna pick up the car. We'll pay whatever balance is due, and we'll just square you guys away. No harm, no foul. We'll square you away, and we'll leave it like that. So I leave to go get a trailer, and on my way over there, the customer calls me that they got the car started, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, of course they did, right? You know, there's no way that they assumed that the engine was locked up. So in my opinion, I think they were trying to keep the motor. The car had warranty on it, so I think they were trying to do like an extended warranty to replace the engine. They were going to keep the motor, blah, blah. I don't know how that stuff works, but that's what I was thinking. So anyways, the customer's like, dude, the car started, but I don't care. Come pick up the car. So I go get the trailer. I come back, and the owner comes out. Very nice guy. He apologizes to me for the unprofessionalism of his employees, and he told me that the guy who was diagnosing the car got let go. So whether that's true or not, I don't know. Either way, the car ended up with me. So fast forward a little bit. We go for a drive. Car's running fine. I replaced the starter. I replaced the alternator. And car runs fine. The old starter was just cooked. I mean, when you put headers on these cars, the starter is so close to the header. What did I do with the flashlight? I'll show you. That it literally melts the solenoid right there, and it damages the cable and all the plastics that are on there. So that's what happened. The solenoid was just toasted. So customers like, you know what, just replace it. And while you're there, do the alternator. So we did that. Enjoyed the car for a little bit. Do a hard pull, a really hard pull, and I'll add the clip here. And the car runs great. So driving around for a little while, go to Whataburger, drive around the block. By the time we get back to his place, and I guess it was gonna happen sooner or later. By the time we get back to his place, the car starts to kind of get hot, and the car starts to smoke out the exhaust a lot, and it was a lot. So car's getting hot, it's smoking. Automatically, I thought head gasket. So I was like, well. Head gasket took a crap. No biggie, I'll replace it, it's no problem. Well, brought it back to our place. I pulled the head, and we noticed that there was a piece of the piston missing on the car. And let me see if I can get a clip of that or a picture of that. And as well as a crack in the sleeve on cylinder number 5. So back here on this side, cylinder number 5, this one, had a broken sleeve. And right there, I was like, damn, you know, if we didn't get a locked up motor, we got a broken motor. So it wasn't broken, it wasn't locked up, and the car was fine. And the reason, and I'm gonna fast forward a little bit to how we found out, the reason it did that, the reason it failed, the piston broke, the car was from out of town, somewhere not here in South Texas. I know he purchased a car way out of, you know, another state. So fast forward past repairing everything, fixing the car, we go to tune the car, and the car is not tuned. And I guess my fault, and you know, customer didn't know. It's, you know, he bought the car out of a dealership, and the car was running fine, but I guess nobody had ever run it so hard. So we found out the car was untuned, and that caused detonation on that cylinder. The piston came apart, destroyed the sleeve, and that was that. So there was nothing wrong mechanically with the engine, other than the car was untuned, and that shocked us. after we fixed the engine because we were driving it like it was a tuned car. The car would idle, but it would have a really hard time starting, and that made a lot of sense on why the car was untuned, or why we figured out that the car was untuned. So, anyways, pull the motor, got a sleeve, got a Darton sleeve for it. Everybody said no, you got to replace all of them. Texas Speed told us you got to replace all of them. Machine shop said that they don't do them. Nobody here locally does them. By miracle, I had a buddy of mine. He recommended me to some dude who's underground, kind of, hidden, really doesn't take in work, kind of top secret. And he said, yeah, let's do it. So we got the sleeve replaced, ordered a new piston, a new rod, disassembled the entire motor, cleaned everything. And customer actually hung out with me and helped me assemble the engine. He wanted the experience. So we assembled the engine together, turned it on, put a bigger cam. It has heads, it has Johnson trailerless lifters, it's got a throttle body, it's got twin disc clutch, it's got headers, it's got an intake, it's got nice stuff on it. So all the valve issues that people talk about on these cars, that they drop valves, it's all been fixed, it's all been taken care of with the heads, they're aftermarket heads. So everything ran great, and we took it to get tuned. Just drive it for a little while. Brand new motor. Technically, we put King bearings in it and everything. New cam bearings. We did all the works. So drove it for a little while. After he got it tuned and parked it, and he's been gone for several months. So here we are. As you can see, the car's been parked. It's dirty. Somebody tried starting it. I guess a family member of his tried starting the car, and they got a service charging system code on the dash. So we're gonna do what is most common on these cars is the power wires. They get old or the heat destroys them, and they're just too small. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna install an aftermarket really nice alternator, and we're gonna do the Big 2 wiring kit. If any of you ever heard of that, it's a wiring kit that adds to the fuse box that supplies a constant power that doesn't have any draw. The more wire, the better. So we're gonna do that. Check out this alternator. So here it is. This is the alternator that came off of it. It's a replacement from O'Reilly's. Worked fine. Charged the car good, but I guess because of the wiring, either the wiring on the car is pretty worn out, but we're putting a Mechman 240 amp, I believe, alternator on it now. It's a nice unit. Nice. Look at that billet housing, or aluminum housing, black with the chrome. They have different styles, different colors. I like this one because it matches the car. So we're gonna go ahead and throw that on, and then we're also gonna throw the Big 2 kit. This kit, the Z06 Big 2 out of SacCityCorvette. Real cool people. Guy actually emailed me. I messaged him for info, and he said this is the one you need. Told him the application of the car. He goes, this is more than enough. They have different versions for Grand Sport, for base model, for LS3. So this one's specifically for Z06s. So it's an addition to the power cables. One goes to the alternator, one goes to the starter. So I'm gonna do that. We're gonna do the alternator, and I'm gonna replace that ugly stock Chevy SS Cobalt steering wheel with this real nice Grand Sport style carbon fiber steering wheel on the car. So there's some context on the car, and I wish I had gotten video, but there you go. Let's get working on it. So we came for a test drive before we changed the steering wheel on the car, but I know you can't see, or maybe you can, but the screen is not glitching. If it is glitching on the video, it's because the camera can't pick up the LED on the screen. But it's charging at 14.4 volts, cruising. AC is nice and cold. See that? Right just about 14 point something volts. Good oil pressure. Coolant temp is nice and cold. Yeah, running way better. steering wheel out on the car. I got the car all squared away. I got the homie here washing it. I told him I was gonna wash the car for him, and he's like, "Nah, man, it's my car. I wash it." I said, "All right." I'll show you the steering wheel here in a second. We changed the steering wheel as well. Got rid of that old Cobalt SS steering wheel. Put that on. It was real easy. Got it done in about 10 minutes. But yeah. Yeah. That was good. Open the door real quick so I can show the steering wheel. There it is. Way better. Gives you that little extra leg space here. There you go, guys. Alright, well, that's going to do it for the video. Just a quick fix up on the car. A little bit of history on it. But, yeah, thanks, guys, for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. And we'll see you guys on the next one.